All right, so let's get right into it. You've done all the work, right? The meditating, the reading, the journaling, and you finally have that big breakthrough, that spiritual awakening you've been chasing. You think, this is it. This is the launch pad for the rest of my life. But then, nothing. Crickets. Your ambition just evaporates. Today, we're going to unpack this really confusing paradox and find a path through it. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The very thing you thought would ignite this passion inside you just leaves you feeling hollow. That career you were so driven to build, the goals you were chasing with everything you had, suddenly it all feels like it belongs to somebody else. And it's not sadness, not really. It's not depression. It's just emptiness. So, what in the world is going on here? Did you take a wrong turn? Is this some kind of spiritual failure? The answer is a huge, resounding no. And to really get why, we're going to turn to the work of one of the most important psychologists of all time, Carl Jung. He basically spent his entire life mapping this exact territory. Jung actually identified what we can call the awakening paradox. That moment when this incredible, profound clarity leads to, well, profound confusion. The most important thing to get right off the bat is that this is a known psychological phenomenon. It's a stage in the journey, not a dead end. And I really want to land on this point. If this is you right now, listen to me. You are not broken. You are not failing at spirituality. This very specific feeling of emptiness, this total lack of drive, is actually a sign that something deep inside of you is shifting in a huge way. It's the beginning of a massive transformation. Even if, and I know it does, it feels like everything is just falling apart. Okay, so let's get to Jung's core idea for why this happens. See, the awakening didn't actually destroy your motivation. What it did was it flipped on the lights and showed you what your motivation was really made of all along. For most of our lives, pretty much all of us operate from what Jung called the persona. Just think of it as your social mask. It's not a bad thing. It's the version of you that knows how to get along in the world, how to succeed. It's what drives your career, your ambitions, your desire for recognition. It's that part of you that's constantly asking, okay, what do I need to do to be successful and safe out there? So what an awakening does is it's like this bolt of lightning that just illuminates the persona. And you see with this shocking clarity that your ambition, it wasn't really fueled by genuine passion. It was fueled by fear. Jung had this brilliant term for it, purpose poisoning. You were chasing all those goals to run away from the feeling that you weren't good enough or worthy enough. And here's the kicker. Once you see that, you just can't unsee it. It's like the fuel line to that old engine has just been completely severed. This really shows the difference perfectly, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got that anxious, grinding energy of persona goals. It's a constant push. But that call from your deeper self, on the right, that's totally different. It's more like a gentle pull. It doesn't need a round of applause from the outside world because doing the thing is its own reward. This brings us to a really crucial shift in how we look at this. This void that you're in, it is not a problem that you need to solve. It's a sacred space. It's been cleared out so that something new and authentic can actually grow. It's an absolutely essential part of the whole process. Jung used this powerful metaphor from ancient alchemy to talk about this phase, the Nigredo. It literally means the blackening. It's that stage where all the old, inauthentic stuff has to be completely dissolved, burned down to ash, before the real gold, your true, authentic self, can finally emerge. So yeah, it's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's how you know it's working. I mean, think about a chrysalis. If you look at it from the outside, it just looks like a dormant, boring shell. It seems like absolutely nothing is happening. But on the inside, the most radical transformation you can possibly imagine is going on. So this emptiness you feel, it's not stagnation. It's a protective, generative, and necessary state of being. So, if you're in the chrysalis, what are you supposed to do? You definitely don't try to force your way out. Jung's answer wasn't to just, try harder or go running back to your old goals. He laid out a kind of third way, a practice of conscious waiting. He gave us 3 really specific practices. First up, sacred grieving. This is where you actually honor and thank your old persona-driven goals. I mean, they kept you safe, they gave you an identity. You have to actually grieve the loss of that person. Second is active imagination. This is a specific kind of journaling or visualization where you literally listen to your unconscious. And third, there's symbolic living. This is where you just start making small choices based on what feels genuinely alive and interesting, not just what's practical or what you think you should do. And this is the question. This is the one that's right at the heart of that active imagination practice. And notice how different it feels from what should I do with my life, right? It's not about forcing an answer out of your logical brain. It's about creating a quiet space and just listening for an answer to bubble up from somewhere much, much deeper. And if you can do that, if you can stay in that quiet space long enough, something really remarkable starts to happen. A totally new kind of motivation starts to emerge. And it feels nothing like that old ambition. It's something way more sustainable, much calmer, and believe it or not, so much more powerful. Just look at the difference here. The old way, that ego motivation, it's all urgent and pressured. It's running on anxiety, and it just drains you. But soul motivation, it's calm, it's patient. It comes from inside you, and it actually generates energy. You finish doing the work, and you feel more alive than when you started. That's the signal. That's how you know you've tapped into something real. And that is the fundamental shift right there. The goal isn't achievement for the sake of getting a gold star or feeling safe anymore. The goal is just expression for its own sake. You're no longer out there trying to prove that you're worthy. You're just living out who you authentically are. So where do you begin with all this? Here is a simple, incredibly powerful assignment, straight from Jung's work. For the next 30 days, just take 10 minutes every morning with a journal. Ask this one question, and then just write down whatever comes up, no matter how weird or small it seems. Don't judge it, just listen. Because in the end, this whole journey isn't about finding the right answer in your head. It's about cultivating the quiet and the patience to hear the answer that's already living inside you. So trust the emptiness. Trust the chrysalis. The listening, that is the path forward.